Okay, so let us use these examples to understand how to divide decimal numbers. Evaluate the following. Let's have number 1 as 0.72 divided by 0.3. And let's have number 2 as negative 14.25 divided by 2. And number 3 as negative 36.09 divided by negative 0.9. Okay, so we will first of all have these 3 examples. So let's have the solutions. Okay, we begin with number 1, where we have 0.72 divided by 0.3. Okay, can you hear me, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so what we are going to do, let us first write this as 0.72 out of 0.3. You see, it is easier for us to divide these 2 decimals when this numerator is a whole number. So what we are going to do, we are going to change 0.3 to become a whole number. So 0.3, in order to become a whole number, we are going to multiply it by 10. You see, it has got 1 decimal place. So when it has got 1 decimal place and we multiply it by 10, it will now become 3. But when we multiply by 10 here, we must also multiply by 10. So when we multiply 0.72 by 10, this decimal point will jump 1 digit and it comes here. So this means that we are going to be having 0.72 times 10 will be 7.2. Is that okay? Okay.
Okay.
And now 0.3 times 10, it will instead be 3. This is, you need to understand this very well. For example, 0.3 is the same as 3 out of 10. So if I have 0.3 times 10, it means that I have 3 out of 10 times 10. And this 10 can go with this 10 to have 3. Or else I say that I have 3 out of 10 times 10. This is equal to 30 out of 10, which is the same as 3. So that's why I'm telling you that 0.3 times 10, we are getting 3. Okay. So since now we have got 7.2 divided by 3, we are going to use the long division method. So we have 3 and we have 7.2. 2. Now, when we are dividing these decimal numbers, we must make sure that the decimal point in 7.2 is aligned with the decimal point in our answer. And you are going to see this as we move on. Look, what is 7 divided by 3? What do we get?
2.
2. Write 2 on top of 7. Now we get 2 times 3 to get 6. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we get 7 minus 6. 7 minus 6. What do we get? We get 1. Okay. Now, we cannot get 1 divided by 3 because 1 is smaller than 3. So we have got to cross this decimal point to come this side to pick 2. But note that before we use this 2 that is in front of this decimal point, we must first write this decimal point here. Is that understood? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we can bring these 2 down. Now, when we bring these 2 down, we just need to look at it as 12. Now, get 12 divided by 3. What do we get?
4.
4.
We get 4. Write 4 on top of 2. Now, get 4 times 3. 4 times 3, what do we get?
12.
12. And now 12 minus 12, we get 0.
0.
Okay, so you see that we are getting 2.4. So we say that 0.72 divided by 0.3 is equal to 2.4. Have you understood, students?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very good. In number 2, let's try number 2. Number 2, remember we have got negative 14.25 and we are dividing it by 2. Okay. Now, since we have a negative divided by a positive, will our answer be negative or it will be positive? Yes, please.
Negative.
Negative, very good. Our answer will be negative. So already our divisor is already a whole number. It is already a whole number, or you can say that it is already a positive integer. So that is very good. This is different from example number 1. You look at number 1, our divisor is a decimal. So we were supposed to make this decimal become an integer. But now, for number 2, already our divisor is an integer. That is very good because it will make our work easier. So we will right away go to divide. 14.25. Remember, our answer will be 8 because we are having a negative divided by a positive. So can we get 1 divided by 2? Yes or no?
No.
No, because 1 is smaller than 2. Okay, so now we get the whole of it as 14. What is 14 divided by 2? Yes, please?
7.
7, very good. We write 7 on the top of 14. Now we get 7 times 2. 7 times 2, we get
14.
14. Now we subtract. 14 minus 14, we get
0.
0. Now at this stage, we are going to cross this decimal to pick 2. But before we use this 2, we need to write the decimal point. Is that okay? Is that okay, everyone?
Okay.
Okay, now we can bring these 2 down. Remember, the decimal points must be on the same line. Now we can bring 2. 0, 2 is the same as 2. So let's just look at this as 2. What is 2 divided by 2?
1.
We get 1. Okay. Now, what is 1 times 2? 1 times 2, we get 2, right? And now we get 2 minus 2. What do we get 2 minus 2? We get 0. So now we can bring 5. Is it okay? Okay. So 5 divided by 2. What do we get?
2.
2.
2. Now 2 times 2. What do we get?
4.
4. Let us subtract. What do we get? 5 minus 4, we get 1, right? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. So 1 divided by 2, what do we get?
No.
Not
It's
possible.
impossible. So we can say that we have got a 0 here, and then we just bring it here to have it as 10. So what is 10 divided by 2?
5.
5.
And what is 5 times 2?
10.
10.
And what is 10 minus 10?
0.
0. So remember, our answer is supposed to be a negative. So it implies that we have got negative 14.25 divided by 2 is equal to negative 7.125. Okay. Now we look at number 3. For number 3, remember, we have got negative 36.09 divided by negative 0.9. So what do you think our answer? Will it be negative or it will be positive?
Positive.
Positive, very good, because we are having a negative times a negative. Okay, so since we have negative 36.09 divided by negative 0.9, and we already know that our answer will be a positive, because a negative divided by a negative, we get a positive. Is that okay, student?
Okay.
Okay. So, and you see that the divisor 0.9 is not an integer. So what we are going to do, we are going to have 36.09 out of 0.9. So what can we do to 0.9?
Times
Times 10.
Very good. And also times 10 here. So what are we going to get? Yes?
3.6.
Remember, decimal point, we'll skip one digit here. Yes? What do we get?
Oh. Is 2,000.
No.
Okay, 2,000.
No.
360,
360, right?
out of 9. Yes.
360 out of 9. Is it okay?
Nine.
Out of,
Is it okay, everyone?
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we can divide. Okay. So 3 divided by 9, is it possible or not impossible? Not possible.
Not.
Yes, it is not possible because 3 is smaller than 9. So let's put it together to have it as 36. What is 36 divided by 9?
4.
Yeah.
4. And what is 4 times 9.
36.
36.
Okay. What is 36 minus 36? Yes?
0.
0. Okay. Now we can bring this 0 to come here. And what is 0 divided by 9?
Possible.
Not possible.
Yes, okay. If it is not possible, you simply write a 0. But 0 divided by 9, you get 0. Okay, 0 divided by any number, the answer is 0. So we get it as 40. Now, since we are going to cross the decimal point to get to 9, we need to first write the decimal point here so that the decimal points are aligning. So now, after doing that, we can be able to bring 9 here. Okay? Is it okay, everyone?
Okay.
So what is 9 divided by
Okay.
9? 9 divided by 9. What do we get?
1.
1. And what is 1 times 9?
9.
9. When we subtract, we get 9 minus 9. What do we get?
0.
0.
0. So it means that our final answer will be that negative 36.09 divided by negative 0.9 will give us 40.1. And remember, our answer is positive because we have negative divided by negative. Everything okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. So let's do some practice together. So let's have number 1 as 1.904 divided by 0.08. Okay, so step 1, we know that we have to write 1.904 out of 0.008. 0.08. So what do? You can see our divisor is not an integer. So what do? Times?
Times 100.
100.
Times 100. Very good. Also here times 100. And when we say times 100, this decimal point will skip 2 digits. So what do we have next? Very quick, very quick, very quick.
100.
100.
And 90
30.4.
out 8. Okay. So in the next step, we are going to divide. So we have 190.4. Okay. Since we cannot get 1 divided by 8, we will get 19. So what is 19 by 8?
2.
2. Very good. And what is 2 times 8?
16.
15.
16. And when we subtract 16 from 19, what do we have?
3.
3. That's good. We cannot get 3 divided by 8 since 3 is smaller than 8. So we have got to bring this 0 down so that we get 30. And what is 30 divided by 8?
3.
Very good, 3. 3 times 8, what do we get?
24.
24, correct. And let's subtract 24 from 30. What do we get?
6.
6.
That's correct. Now, we cannot get 6 divided by 8 because 6 is smaller than 8. We have got to bring this 4. But before we cross this decimal point to get to 4, we need to first write a decimal point there. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, now we can bring 4 down to have 64. What is 64 divided by 8? 64 by 8?
8.
That's good. And 8 times 8?
64.
64. 64 minus 64, what do we get?
0.
We will get a 0. So it means that when we have 1.904 divided by 0.08, we will get 23.8. Everything okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Everything okay.
All right. So we get to another practice question. Let us have negative 3.598. Negative 3.598 divided by negative 0.07. What do you think about our answer? Will it be positive or it will be negative?
Positive.
Positive.
That's great.
Positive.
That's correct. Okay, so since it will be positive, let's just write the absolute values of these two decimals. So we will have 3.598 out of 0.07. What do we do to our divisor 0.07? You can see it is not an integer. So what do we do?
100.
Times 100.
Times 100 and also times 100. That's correct. So in the next step, what we have?
359.8.
Very good. Because we know that when we multiply this number by 100, the decimal point will skip 2 digits to come here. So that's why we have 359.8. And what is 0.07 times 100?
7.
Correct. Now we can divide 7,359.8. Okay, so let's move on. Can we get 3 divided by 5?
Not possible.
Not possible.
It's not possible, so we get 35. So what is 35 by 7?
5.
5. That is correct. And what is 5 times 7?
35.
35. And we subtract 35 from 35. What do we get?
0.
Okay. So let us bring 9 down. So 9 divided by 7. What do we get?
1.
1. And what is 1 times 7?
7.
Subtract 7 from 9. What do you get? Yes, please?
2.
That's correct. 2 divided by 7. Possible or not possible?
Not possible.
Yes, since it is not possible, we need to bring this 8 down. But before that, we cannot go to 8 before writing this decimal point up. So let's write this decimal point here, and then we can be able to bring 8 down. Now we have 28. So 28 divided by 7, what do we get?
4.
4. And 4 times 7, what do we get?
28.
So subtract 28 from 28. What do you get? 0. Okay. So therefore, negative 3.598 divided by negative 0.07, the answer will be 51.4. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We are going to look at the final practice question. We call it number 3. Let us have negative 36 point. No. Let me change this. Let's have it as negative 0.299 divided by 1.3. What do you think about our answer? Will it be negative or it will be positive?
Negative.
Very good. It will be a negative. So already we know that our answer will be a negative. So let's just write 0.299 out of 1.3. So what do you think? What should we do? You can see that our divisor is not an integer. What should we do to make it an integer? Yes?
10.
Times 10, and also here times 10. So, and then what do we have next? What do we have?
2.99
Out of? Out of 13, right? 2.99 out of 13. Now let us divide. We have 13 and we have 2.99. Okay, so what should we do? 2 divided by 13. What do we get?
Not possible.
Possible.
Since it is not possible, we simply write a 0. Okay? Is that okay? Now, 0 times 13, what do we get? 0 times 13,
0.
0. Subtract 0 from 2, what do you get?
2.
Okay. All right. Now, already we know that we cannot divide 2 by 13. We have got to bring 9 down. But before we bring 9, we have to cross this decimal point. So before we bring 9, we have got to write this decimal point. Is it okay? So
Okay.
we can bring 9. Now we have got 29. What is 29 divided by 13?
2.
Very good. And now what is 2 times 13?
26.
26. Subtract
26.
20. Yes. Subtract 26 from 29. What do you get?
3.
3.
Very good. Okay. 3 divided by 13. Possible or not possible?
Not
Not
possible.
possible.
So we bring 9 down. Now we have got 39. What is 39 divided by 13?
3.
3. Very good. And now what is 3 times 13?
13.
39.
39. That's correct. And now subtract 39 from 39. What do you get?
0.
0. So that means that we have finished. So therefore, when we have negative 0.299 divided by 1.3, we know that our answer will be a negative, and it will be a negative of 0.23. Have you understood, student?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have understood, that's very, very good.